struggle with knowing when to stop. Let that sink in for a minute. A lot of people don't struggle with knowing what to do. They struggle with knowing when to stop. We talking about the lock journey. We're talking about tonight when to just leave it alone and step away and stop before you self sabotage. Yes, making sure my mic is together and all good. So if you know, you know. So I'm going to talk about three things today that I feel I experienced, I went through, and I feel that you may go through as well. So if you're thinking about getting locked, you're on a lock journey, just be aware of this. Number one, constantly feeling like you need to adjust and touch your locks all the time. Thank you, cynical. That's a concern. That's something that you should not get caught up in. I got caught up in, but I'm gonna just talk from my point of view, personally speaking. The moment I grew to hate the fuzzy new growth, the moment I grew to start thinking that I need to fix it and make it look neat all the time, the moment I felt like any kind of new growth wasn't as beautiful as, a fresh twist is when I knew I was kind of in trouble a little bit because that's when I started obsessing. Obsessing over what? It not looking like the fresh retwist. Why is that important at all? That's important because you end up doing too much. You end up touching too much. You need to do all of that. But there's no money that stop you. So those things will happen. So I say all that to say like sometimes it's okay just to do nothing. And doing nothing just means that, unless you need to do something because it's dire, there's something wrong, step away. Step away from the light. Step away, step away, step away. you know, um, some people get anxiety from it. They may feel like, oh my gosh, like my hair looks crazy. I don't want to go outside. I have to fix it. It cannot ever look bushy. It cannot look wild. It cannot look thick. Try not to get caught up in that booby trap. That's definitely a booby trap. Embrace and enjoy and love the ones where it's looking kind of fuzzy and fresh and kind of like okay, her hair is not done or his hair is not done, but it still looks very nice, very natural, very moist, very shiny, very put together. Like, don't be afraid of that. That's a realistic thing that can really happen. Um, Another thing I want to talk about too, moving forward. So, like, my next idea is knowing the difference between maintenance and interference. So, in the beginning of my life journey, I felt like, before my hair budded and blossomed and grew and got my growth spurts, I thought I needed to wear a wig. I thought I needed to wear extensions. I thought I needed to wear things on top of my locks to disguise how my locks look because I wasn't confident within my locks. And my stylist quickly told me, like, that interference, that manipulation of trying to put one thing on top of another and not letting the first thing grow and blossom can interfere with the journey and the process. So for me, that told me, okay, although I don't think I'm that beautiful in this look, although I don't feel that confident in this look, although I don't know if I can pull off this look or not, I feel like I need to get to the point where I can, be confident. And how am I gonna do that? I have to search from within so I can pour it all out. You know what I'm saying? So I realized, you know what? No interference, no putting on extensions in my beginning of my lock journey, no putting on wigs in the beginning of my lock journey, no putting on hats the whole journey, not showing my head, no putting scarves on the whole journey, not showing my hair. Like embrace it, go through it, enjoy it, experiment it, document it, go through the good, bad, and the ugly. Don't get so caught up in the beauty. Oh, 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 it doesn't look as good as I want it to look. Don't get caught up in all of that because you're slowing down your lock journey and you're interfering with the natural process. You're missing the budding phases, you're missing the growth spurt phases, you're missing the locks becoming full and juicy and fat in different areas. You're missing out on good stuff. So stray away from that. Um, Another thing I want to talk about too is, the people that are obsessing so much that they're looking for something wrong in their locks that is not really wrong in their locks. And they're over treating and overdoing everything because they're treating something that's not there because they're just over obsessing and looking too hard and too deep into their locks and making an excuse to do something more that they don't really need to do. That was me. I was counting every time I washed my locks, every time I retwisted my locks, every time something excited happened. I had a whole documented journey. I had an Instagram social media profile built to just my locks journey and I really posted everything, even when everything looked like nothing had changed. And it was to the point where I felt like I lost followers. People stopped following me, stopped commenting. Like, I don't see any difference in what she's showing. I don't see what she's talking about. So I say all that to say, like, step back, relax, relate, release, and just enjoy the journey. You don't have to look all day, every day at every little part of your hair to see what's different. People around you are going to tell you what's different. So you don't have to worry about that. And on top of that, it can become an addiction, like a drug, like just seeing when is this going to happen? When is that going to happen? It's just too much. And I highly recommend you don't do that because it can stress you out to the point of no return and you may get discouraged and quit your journey. I'm just saying, I don't know if that will really happen, but it does happen. So to recap, constantly adjusting your locks, and not giving them time to breathe and grow and blossom and do their thing is definitely something you should not do. Just leave it alone. Let it do what it want to do. Even when it's sticking up left, right, forward, backwards, it's not cooperating. Leave it alone. You can't fight it. You can't beat it up. Just leave it alone. Like I promise you, you cannot get over it. It's gonna do what it want to do. It's gonna outpower you. It's gonna challenge you. So just let it do what it's gonna do. Stop trying to, perfect it, like just let it be. I feel like every time I try to perfect it and lay it down and hold the style to make it do what I wanted to do, it didn't do what I wanted it to do. It still did what it wanted to do. So again, I went through this. You may or may not go through this. I'm not sure, but I definitely had some aggressive, angry locks that were taking full control over my life and doing things I did not want them to do. And I'm like, you know what? This is a sign to just let it do what it want to do and just leave it alone. So if you hear anything at all tonight, just hear this. Just leave it alone. Don't challenge it. Don't fight it. Don't put your boxing gloves. Don't try to knock out your locks and make them do what you want to do. Just leave them alone. Let them do what they want to do. That's the best advice I can give anybody who has like unwildly crazy locks that is just not cooperating, not doing what they want to do. Like example, I put this lock in a pony in a bun and they still just decide to pop out whenever they want to. And I don't know why they're popping out. Like I put two rubber bands on two scrunchies over here. And I've even been tucking them inside and they're still just doing what they want to do. So again, that's a prime example. Just leave them alone. Let them do what they want to do. And again, as I mentioned before as well, difference between interference and over manipulation, or maintenance is different. Maintenance is a schedule. You do it as you need to. You need to wash it every few weeks or every couple of months. You need to refresh your hair every couple of months, or every 6 to 8 weeks, like those are maintenance things you do. You need to oil it, condition it, grease it, moisturize it every so how many days a week, Interference is just not letting your locks breathe and do their thing and just, constantly doing another stressful style on top of it or constantly manipulating to do something else or constantly just having someone in your head, doing something different, and just not letting it do what it do. Like again, people do that because they get frustrated with, their hair not so called cooperating with them and then they move on to these kind of things. So, moving on. Thank you guys for being here with me, tuning in, chiming in on, just how to leave it alone. It's been a journey, but if you're unsure if it doesn't, if you're unsure about anything in your journey, it doesn't mean you're behind. It usually means you're paying attention. Like you've paid attention, you got notes, you got tips, you did your research, and everything looks great, and you're just pointing and waiting for something to go wrong. And there's nothing that's gonna go wrong because there's nothing to go wrong. And that's definitely what I learned on the journey. When I overstressed about things that wasn't that serious, nothing was wrong. When I didn't stress, and didn't worry, things were wrong. And it was most likely too late to do anything about it. So that's what I learned on my journey. That's what I learned 5 years plus in this game. And if I can do it all over again, I definitely will. I want to take a moment to, look at the chat, see what the chat is talking about. Shout out to the cynical one. Shout out to Noah, the awesome gamer. Shout out to Agroman 1974. How you guys doing? Thank you guys for popping in, pulling up on me, checking me out. Shout out to the moderators, shout out to the replay game, new subs, day one subs, appreciate you guys all. Want to give you guys some tea to my book is out. My ebook is out. What mattered versus what didn't. It's out on Amazon. So I'm definitely gonna plug the link, to my actually the link is in my bio. If you know, you know. Links in my bio. New Amazon ebook is out. What mattered versus what didn't in my lock journey. Be sure to check that out if you're thinking about getting locks. You know someone who wants to get locks. You know someone who needs to be educated on locks. This is not a guide, step by step kind of ebook. It's an ebook for those people who are unsure, who are second guessing. So definitely, do me a favor. Check out that ebook. It's on Amazon right now. We got a Kindle. It's for you. Thank you guys for pulling up on me. Like, subscribe, you know the vibe. Peace out, y'all, and I'll catch you guys soon enough. Have a good night, and I'll probably see you guys this Saturday or maybe next. But jump in my comments. Let me know if anything you want to know about this conversation, any conversations or ideas for future topics. You can let me know about that too. And to all, a good night. Bye.